Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An episode of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense, as we go back to June 12th, 1956, William-Conrad, Stacy-Harris, starring in A Matter of Timing.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a story of a hired killer who had a deadline to meet. So now, starring Mr. William Conrad and Mr. Stacy-Harris, here is tonight's suspense play, A Matter of Timing.
Waiting for somebody, mister?
Maybe.
I'm supposed to meet somebody here. You the guy?
Just a minute. You have the other half of this dollar?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Where to?
Well, the town where you're supposed to work.
How far?
About 60 miles. I figured it was better to meet you here rather than in town. Safer.
Uh-huh. How'd I get back here after the job's done?
Oh, I'll drive you.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose you know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Kill somebody. Who?
My partner.
How'd you find somebody like me?
Oh, it isn't hard. A friend asked a friend who asked a friend. Well, you know.
Yeah, I know. What's the matter with your partner?
Huh?
I mean, why do you want him killed?
Personal reasons.
You want his wife?
No.
Oh, you've been dipping into the till and you got your fingers caught.
What's so important about the reason?
It's not. Only I get curious why people want to have other people killed.
Well, does there have to be a reason?
Oh, not as far as I'm concerned. I get paid to do a job. That's also a living. That's my reason. Yours ought to be at least that good.
Well, it is, for me.
Good enough. Let's get on to business. I got an 18-hour alibi. That means I got to be out of here by tonight.
Well, you should be out by 9 o'clock this morning.
All planned, huh?
Just about.
Good. I don't like complications.
Well, there won't be.
When do I get the rest of my money?
Just as soon as the job is done.
I want it before.
Don't you trust me?
I'm sorry. In my business, it has to be cash in advance. Nothing personal. It's just that I can't sue you if you're a nig.
Well, you could come gunning for me.
Well, I could, but I wouldn't. I only do my work for money, not pleasure. In advance?
Yes, in advance. Well, this is where you'll do the job from.
You own this store?
No, it's leased.
Your name on the lease?
No, it's leased by a client of ours. I had a key made a few weeks ago.
You got to key the front door, too?
No, we don't need it. Come here. Can you shoot through the corner of that broken window?
If it's not too far away, yeah.
Well, he'll come out of that apartment house. Right there across the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can do that. But, I still don't like you pointing him out. I wish you'd have gotten a picture.
Well, I couldn't get one without a good reason, and I couldn't think of a reason.
Yeah, but a little picture.
Do you have a picture of your best friend?
Well, no, but I know how to get one.
Well, that's because of your business. I don't know how to do these things.
You knew how to get me.
No, I didn't. No, sir, it cost me plenty just to get a friend of a friend of a friend, like I said before.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's get this thing figured out and get it over with, huh?
All right, he'll come out of the doorway across the street at almost exactly 8 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
I know, because I've been checking it carefully for a very long time.
And then you point him out.
That's right. Now, you do what you have to. We go out the back way like we came in, and I drive you to Helmsley, where you catch a train back.
Uh-huh. Look, not that it means anything to me, but are you covered? As far as the police are concerned, I mean.
If you mean motive, yes, I haven't any. Mark's half of the business goes to his wife, so does his insurance. There's nothing in it for me.
Well, then why do the job?
Because he thinks he's smarter than me.
You mean you'd have a man killed because he thinks that he's smarter than you are?
Well, that's not the only reason.
Well, what are the others?
Well, just because.
You're nuts.
Don't say that. I figure I can get the rest of the business away from Mark's wife after he's gone. That's another reason.
Yeah, getting rid of the one you can't outsmart, is that it?
Well, if you want a basic reason, yes.
Mm-hmm. Did you whitewash the storefront windows?
No, they've been that way ever since it was leased.
I suppose somebody comes to look it over.
Well, that's impossible. My client is away for the season.
Okay. Well, that's enough talk for now. I better get ready. It's 5 to 8.
I thought you people always used automatics.
That's only in movies. Revolvers are more accurate.
Well, I only thought that...
Just be quiet, please, huh? Next time you talk to me, I want you to point the man out. Okay?
Well, it's about time to go.
Yes, it's almost 8.
Francis?
Yes?
Do you feel all right?
Why, Mark?
Well, you look feverish.
I feel kind of feverish.
Here, let me see. Hey, you do have a fever. I'd better call Dr. Borden.
Oh, no. I don't think you have to. Besides,
What, dear?
I think maybe you had better call him. You just call and go to the office, and you'll be late.
I don't care if I am. I don't have a thing to do this morning that's of any consequence.
It's just the idea of being late.
It doesn't matter. Being late today isn't going to make any difference one way or the other.
It's 8:45.
I know, but maybe he left before 8. I just don't understand it.
Look, I'm not going to sit here all day. You better do something.
Do what?
That's your problem.
Well, all right, I'll call the office. Maybe he's there now.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Oh, well, why not?
Never call. Go in person, huh? Showing up at your office doesn't look suspicious. Phone call does.
All right, what about you?
Well, I'll wait in your house or your apartment, whatever you got.
You what?
Well, why not? I don't want to be seen around town any more than I have to. Now, do you have a back door to your place?
Yes.
All right, let's go there then. I'll wait till you contact me.
Well, how do you know I want you in my place?
Look, I got a service to render. As long as you think I can do it, you're going to take care of me. Now, let's get with it, huh? You take me to your place and then go to the office. You contact me there. Now, just remember, I want to be out of town by the night.
You will. Don't worry.
I don't worry, mister. Either things happen or they don't happen. That's the way I live.
Good morning, Mr. Loman.
Well, good morning, Miss Brenner. Miss Brenner, Miss Callender in?
No, sir. He should be here any minute, though.
Oh, when do you leave?
He didn't. He just hasn't come in this morning.
Not at all?
No, he called and said his wife was ill and he'd come in after the doctor had been over.
Oh, I see what that...
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
It's all right, Mark. How's Frances?
She'll be okay, just a touch of the virus.
Oh, that's good.
Come on into my office, Carl. I want to talk to you.
No, what's up?
Just something I want to talk over.
All right.
I didn't want to say anything in the outer office, but I think we've got the Parker property.
Oh, how do you know?
Well, the phone rang just as I was leaving the house. It was old Josh Parker calling from Crestview. He's ready to settle at our price.
Well, when do we see him?
Not we. Me. I made an appointment for 7 this evening. I'm so careful I didn't even tell Frances where I was going. If the Carter outfit ever found out, they'd offer Parker another $5,000 and we'd lose the deal.
Well, what made him decide to sell now?
I didn't even ask. All I'm interested in is buying.
Then you'll be there at 7?
Yes, now let's get busy and drop the papers. This mustn't leak out, Carl. I'd rather you not say anything to anybody.
Now, what makes you think that... Don't worry, Mark. This means as much to me as it does to you. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood, no street lighting, and 2 or 3 minutes from the highway to Helmsley where you catch the train.
You sure of the time?
Yes, this time I'm sure. I saw him leave before I came and got you. He should be there by now. I figure it'll take about a half hour to 45 minutes to close the deal. Then you get him as he comes out the door. And don't miss.
I won't. You know, you're a pretty cruel guy.
Me? Cruel?
Yeah.
Well, what about you? You're doing it.
Yeah, but I don't know him. I never killed anybody I know in all my life.
A man's a man.
No, he's not. Some are strangers. I can't feel anything for a stranger. I haven't got time for thinking about his life. But guys like you hire guys like me to kill somebody they know. I don't get it.
You don't have to. Just do the job, that's all.
What's the matter? Am I getting to
Let's
you?
not talk about it, huh?
Okay with me. How much longer we gotta go?
We'll be there in 15 minutes.
Don't pull right up in front of the house, huh? Especially if his car's parked in front, angle off a little bit.
I will. This time we're going to get him.
Well, I hope so. I want to get back home. I got a heavy date tonight.
Josh Parker. Well, I guess that's it.
Yes, sir, and here is your check, sir. The balance of the money will be deposited to your account.
That's good. I suppose you're wondering why I decided to accept your deal, hmm?
Well, I must confess I was rather curious.
Well, I'll make it brief. Our daughter Molly, you remember, she had a baby boy last week. She called us and asked us to come on out to the coast and see our grandson. Well, we figured we might as well go for a nice long stay and maybe even retire. So we decided to sell.
Oh, well, when do you expect to leave?
Tonight. Catching the 9:25 out of Helmsley. Had the storage men in today. They'll pick up the furniture and all tomorrow.
Well, how are you getting to Helmsley?
Taxi, I guess.
Oh, I'll be glad to drive you.
Oh, no. That'd be too much trouble.
No trouble at all. It'd be a pleasure.
And by golly, we accept. I'll get Mrs. Parker to rush it some, and we'll be on our way.
What's taking him so long?
Relax. We only been waiting 10 minutes.
He's got to come out soon.
He'll be out if he went in. He'll come out.
Oh, he went in all right. That's his car right out front.
And everything's okay.
Is there enough light?
Yes, there's enough light.
Here he comes.
A tall guy?
Yes, that's him.
Very nice.
Who's that with him?
That's Parker and his wife.
You ain't going to the car with him.
Well, that doesn't matter. Shoot.
I can't. He's covered. Those people are on this side of him.
Come on, shoot.
I can't, I tell you. I can't. I'll hit them, too.
I don't care.
Well, I do.
Shoot now.
No good.
Shoot.
Too late, buddy. The boat sailed.
Well, what do we do now?
I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here.
No.
Look, this job's jinxed. I'm not pushing my luck any further.
You can't go. I need you.
Get somebody else. Here, I'll give you half your dough back.
I don't want the money. I want you to kill him for me.
No.
But you must. You see, he's got to die.
Why don't you kill him?
Because I can't, that's why.
Sorry, mister, I'm leaving.
No, we'll make it next time.
You can't guarantee that.
I'll pay you double.
In advance?
Yes, in advance.
Okay, I'll stay. Yeah, let's be getting back to your place, huh? I'd like to get a little sleep.
You are listening to A Matter of Timing, tonight's presentation on radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
June 12th, 1956, Suspense on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Suspense, June 12th, 1956.
And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Stacy-Harris and Mr. William Conrad, starring in tonight's production, A Matter of Timing, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Thank you, dear.
I wish we hadn't stayed out this late. It's after midnight, and you had the doctor over this morning. I don't think this party was such a good idea.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear, but it's been so long since we've been to a party like that. I just couldn't seem to break away.
Oh, it's all right, honey. I enjoyed it, too.
You never did tell me where you went earlier this evening.
Didn't I?
No. And I suppose if I hadn't asked, you never would have told me.
All right, I'll make it short and sweet. I bought the Parker place.
Oh, Mark, how nice. And that's what you and Carl did this evening.
Carl wasn't there.
Why not?
Well, Fran, you know how he is, always overselling. If he'd kept quiet last month, I think we could have gotten it then, and cheaper.
What did he think about you going alone?
Well, he was perfectly content. We drew up the papers, and I went alone. He didn't seem to mind.
Mark?
Yes?
Do you think Carl feels all right about you doing all the real selling in the business?
Why should he mind, as long as he gets his share?
Is the Parker place nice?
Oh, yes, very.
Mark, why don't we move into it?
Move? Why?
I'm tired of living in the city on the 3rd floor. Nothing to look at out of my front window. Nothing really to do all day while you're at work.
The way you say it makes it sound like you live in the slums or something.
Oh, no. I know this is nice, maid service, all the things a lazy woman could want. But somehow I wish we had a lot of things we haven't got.
Like what?
A garden, trees, fresh air, even a garage for your car.
You know how hard it is to get garage space, even at a price.
That's what I mean. Move over.
Sorry.
Even with all the money you're willing to spend, we haven't got a lot of the things I think we should have.
All right, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow we'll take a drive out to the Parker place. If you like it, we'll move into it.
Do you mean it?
Of course I do.
I just thought of something.
What?
Is there a chance Carl might think you went to the Parkers alone so you could arrange for us to have the place ourselves?
No, of course not. Going alone is normal procedure lately. He just doesn't handle any of the big deals anymore.
If he's so little help to you, why do you continue with the partnership?
I don't know. Loyalty, maybe. He's still my friend. Well, I don't know. I guess I can't do that to a friend.
I hope he realizes that.
I hope he doesn't. Carl's a pretty intense guy, and he might go off the deep end if he thought I was carrying him. Come on, let's get to bed. I don't want to be late for work tomorrow. I've got a lot of things to do.
Including the trip to the Parker place.
You realize this means paying Carl for his half of the property.
Do you think he'll mind losing a possible profit?
No, I don't think so. Carl owes me a lot for some of the things I've done for him, and I don't think he'll mind paying me back.
Hey, how about this one?
I don't know. Looks kind of beat.
What do you mean, beat? It's a 55. It's just dirty, that's all.
Maybe we ought to try to get a sharper one.
We don't have much time left.
June 12th, 1956, Suspense on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll have the conclusion following these messages right now from your favorite radio station. Just going to take a minute here to tell you about the big savings going on now, the clearance sale at mypillow.com. And you know, I've talked about how in my office I have a pair of my slippers, and they're really comfortable, and they're on clearance right now. The mypillow.com slippers, $25 a pair, limit 10. And I would buy 3 or 4 more pairs. Unfortunately, they're out of my size. They also have sheets, pillowcases, clothing items, all on special right now. Go to mypillow.com, click on the clearance tab at the top of the page, use my promo code Wyatt, or call 1-800-928-4715. Limited sizes remaining in the MyPillow slippers, limited colors on other items. mypillow.com, clearance tab, promo code Wyatt, 1-800-928-4715. I'm Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater continues now with the conclusion of Suspense. June 12, 1956. William-Conrad, Stacy-Harris. A Matter of Timing.
We promised the guys we'd meet him at 5 o'clock this morning, and we got 2 hours driving to do. See if it's unlocked. Yeah. Okay, we'll use it. Get in.
Check. Hurry up.
What do you mean, hurry up? I gotta find the ignition wires. Take it easy. Oh, here they are.
Come on, come on.
Just a minute. There. Let's get going.
Just a second.
Turn the dash light off.
Gotta see if we have gas in this jalopy. I guess there's enough.
Okay, get moving.
Why 7 o'clock in the morning? You told me before he doesn't leave the house till 8.
I want to make sure we don't miss him this time.
If he comes out of the house, I won't miss him.
What about last night?
You saw he was covered by those other people.
Well, supposing he comes out with his wife this time.
She can't cover him from here. He's got to go down them steps. Besides, if it does come out with him, they'll be side by side.
When are you going to shoot?
When he gets to the bottom of the steps.
Why not when he comes out of the door?
He's closer at the bottom, no more than 40 feet. No sense taking unnecessary chances.
You want a cigarette?
No, and neither do you.
Oh, and why not?
What are you going to do with a butt? And supposing somebody sees us smoke?
The windows are whitewashed. Nobody can see in.
We'll be looking all around here after the job's done.
Okay, can I stand up?
Why don't you leave? I know what he looks like now. I can drive to the station by myself.
No, I want to stay and see you do it.
You really hate this guy, don't you?
Yes.
And why don't you just break off a partnership and then you wouldn't
Are you trying to back out now that you've got my money?
I could if I wanted to. And one more crack like that and I will.
I'm sorry, I meant that...
You know, I'm getting sick of guys like you. Now you forget it and you relax, huh? I'll kill you, buddy, for you.
More coffee, Mark?
Yes, I think I will. Thank you.
What time are you going to call me?
About 2 this afternoon.
Do you want me to be ready then?
No, I'm pretty sure we can't get started for the Parker place till 3, but I'll call you at 2 in case I can make it a few minutes earlier.
Fine. You'd better get going, honey. It's almost 8.
I'd better check the weather and see if I need a top coat. Beautiful day. Say, I parked in front of the house last night, didn't I?
Yes, why?
Well, my car's gone.
Let me see.
Right down there. Didn't I park there last night?
Yes, it is gone.
Of all the luck. I never can remember what number to use for the police. Operator, get me the police. Thank you. Fran, do you think the insurance company will give me a car while the police are looking for mine?
Oh, I don't know.
I'd better check the policy. It's funny how you... Hello? This is Mark Collender. I want to report a stolen car. Yes, last night. No, I have the keys. License number... wait a minute. Do you remember the license number?
No, I don't.
I have all the information at my office, the motor number and everything, you know. Yes, sir. Well, I'll meet you downstairs. 483 Denham Drive. In about 5 minutes. Fine. Thank you. Well, that does it. They'll be here in 5 minutes. Let's have another cup of coffee.
It's after 8.
He'll show. I know he didn't leave before 7.
How do you know?
Well, he just never does.
Well, he better not. I'm catching a 9:45. Win, lose, or draw. I don't like the smell of this job no more.
It's just a few... There he is. There he is. Shoot, shoot.
When he gets to the bottom of the stairs, now shut up.
Shoot him, shoot him. Don't miss. Shoot now, please.
When he
shoot.
comes down.
No. What's he standing there for? Come on. Walk, walk.
Cops. What kind of a deal is this?
I don't know anything about that. Just shoot. Go on, kill him.
You crazy with the cops coming right to the door? I'm getting on it.
Oh,
here.
well, you've got to shoot him first.
Not me, buddy.
All right, then I'll do it.
Get your hands off my gun.
No, give me that. Give me that gun. Give it to me. Give me that gun.
Go, will you? You stupid shit.
But the man was a known killer. If we could only find out what Carl was doing there with a gunman. I've asked him about it time and time again, but he won't talk to me. I can't defend him if he won't talk to me.
I know.
Mark, why don't you try? You're his friend. Maybe he'll talk to you.
I have tried. I know he won't.
Do you know why he won't say anything?
Yes, I think I do.
Then tell me. Maybe it would help.
No. It wouldn't do any good. It wouldn't do any good at all.
Suspense, in which Mr. William Conrad and Mr. Stacy-Harris starred in tonight's presentation of A Matter of Timing. Next week, we bring you a story of a convict ship and a bargain that ended in death. We call it a sleeping draft. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed in Hollywood by Anthony Ellis. Tonight's story was written by Ross Murray. The music was composed by Rene Garrigank and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Featured in the cast were Parley Bear, Virginia Gregg, Victor Rodman, Melitza Milo, Sam Edwards, Ralph Reed, and Robert Miller.
June 12, 1956, Suspense on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, thanks to Ted at RadioMemories.com for this episode of Lum and Abner. And they're going to try to go after Squire after all. This episode from June 12th, 1935.
everybody. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Well, the Pine Ridge Planetarium is very near completion. Lum and Abner have installed their motion picture projector, and Abner has been busy learning to operate it. Well, yesterday they announced that they would have their grand opening Saturday night, only to learn later that Squire Skimp has scooped them again by announcing that his show will open Friday night. As we look in on the old fellows today, Abner is up in the projecting booth, and we find Lum out in the lobby of the theater as Dick Huddleston approaches. Listen.
Sorry I couldn't come back this afternoon and help you, Lum.
Oh, well, howdy, Dick. I never seen you coming up there. Oh, that was all right. We just allowed you got busy or something.
Yeah, well, one of the CC trucks was in getting supplies for their camp, and it's just more than a wife could look after by herself.
Well, we never got nothing done much, no way. Couldn't get Abner to help me.
What's the matter with him?
Why, the moving picture we're aiming on running for the opening Saturday, it come out directly after you left, and Abner got up there in the booth trying to learn how to run the film through the machine, and there he's been all afternoon.
Can't make it work, huh?
Oh, yeah, he's got it to working all right now. He had a time there at first, though. He had it in backwards and every other way. Had the people backing out of rooms when they're supposed to come in them, and horses running backwards. Worst mixed-up thing I ever seen. Worst part was he couldn't get the talking to come in there at the right time some way or other.
The talking?
Yeah, somebody's mouth would start opening and closing like he's trying to say something, and then about the time he'd turn around and start leaving, why, you'd hear him start talking. Come in and leave before he said nothing. Then he'd say hello.
Well, I guess he just didn't have it synchronized, Lum.
No, didn't have it which day?
Synchronized. Didn't have the sound and the picture timed together.
No, must not have synchronized, yeah. I thought at first Heroine, whatever her name is, had a man's voice till he finally got the thing together. Got it synchronized, yeah.
Yeah, he finally got it to working all right, huh?
Yeah, he's got it doing fine now.
Well.
It's an uncommonly good picture we've got. Lots of shooting and fighting and all.
What's the name of it?
Why, it's, the Texas Kid. Yeah.
Texas Kid, huh?
I believe that's what they call it. Buck Jones is a hero, and can he ever fight? Granny's never seen anything like it. If he didn't give that fella that was stealing the cattle a whipping there at the end, I never seen a fella get it.
Must have been a pretty good show, huh?
Oh, it's as good as I ever seen. And that's the reason we ain't been able to get no work done. That crazy Abner sat up there and seen it through 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah, he has. Just going to ruin his eyes.
Why, sure.
I don't see how he can stand it. I had to get up and come out here a minute ago.
Oh, you've been in there looking at it too, huh?
Well, yeah, but I never sat clean through the 4th time. My eyes was getting tired, and I could tell how it's going to end up anyway. It ain't as interesting after you've saw it a few times that way.
Well, now, Lum, you fellas aren't going to have this place ready open by Saturday if you spend all your time in there looking at the pictures.
No, that's what I say. Wish that Abner'd come on. I hollered at him to shut it off and come on down out of there a while ago when I come out, but I ain't saw him yet. Wait a minute, let me see if he's running that thing over again.
Yeah, tell him to come on down. You've got a lot to do around here yet.
Well, he's got it shut off now. I hear him coming down the steps. Come on out front, Abner. Dick's here.
You know, Lum, that's going to be quite a saving. Abner run that machine, save hiring somebody.
Yeah. I don't know, though, where he's going to make a very good hand at it or not, though. He gets too excited. Gets to watching a picture and forgets what he's doing.
Oh, well, he'll get over that. Get used to it in a few days.
I don't know. I doubt it. Up there a while ago, sticking his head out that window there in the booth, hollering at the Texas Kid, telling him where the cattle rustlers were hiding at and all that stuff. I couldn't have here for him.
Stick 'em up! Get your hands in there! The Texas Kid's in town and raring to go.
For goodness sakes, Abner, scare the daylights out of a fella.
Yeah, you ornery coyote. Thought you'd steal them cows and lay it off onto me, did you? Thought you'd turn Mary Jane agin me and win her love.
Abner, be dad blamed if I don't believe you're losing your reason.
The Texas Kid always gives a man a chance. Go for your guns, partner.
Just shut that up, Abner. Dick ain't saw the picture, and he'll think you're crazy.
You enjoyed the show, did you, Abner?
Oh, that's the best thing I saw yet. Come on in here, Dick. I'll run it for you.
No, you ain't going to do no such a thing. We ain't got time to be looking at that picture again. We got some work to do here. Dick can see it Saturday night.
Well, next time I run it, well, I'll send for you, Dick. I'd love for you to see it. It's about a girl from a city, and her uncle died out there in Arizona and left a ranch. And then she come out there to run it, and the foreman on her ranch was a crook. And he was stealing cattle from her and trying to make her think somebody else was doing it. That is, till a Texas kid come along. And she fell in love with him, and he fell in love with her.
Well, first, though, the Texas kid was a crook, too.
Yeah.
He was an outlaw with a price on his head, don't you know?
Oh, yeah.
As you're right there at the opening, he was standing there reading a sign on a tree, had his picture on it, and offering $1,000 for him, dead or alive.
Yeah.
That's how come him to go out there in Arizona.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Lum seen it, too.
But I could tell the minute he rid up there on that horse that he was all right feller, though.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you know he stopped and knocked that feller down for whipping that horse?
Oh, yeah, he got awful mad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame him neither. I saw the time I'd like to have did the same thing. If I could have fit like he can. He is a scrapper.
Yeah, but he changed his ways after he met Mary Jane, though.
Oh, yeah.
She had him as docile as an old cow there before the thing was over.
Well, I never blamed him, though, for what he done, Lum. Don't you know, there at first, recollect when he was reading that reward sign, and he got to sort of recollecting back what all had happened, and you could just see his mind working there.
Yeah, sort of thinking out loud. Anyway, it showed a picture of what he was studying about.
Yeah,
I don't see how he done that, neither.
No, I don't either, but it just all come out there, just what had went on before.
I wished I could do that.
Showed just what started all. Some cattle rustlers killed his papa. And there was 3 of them, and he swore right then that he'd get revenge.
Well, you know, he'd already got 2 of them when he got out to Mary Jane's ranch.
Yeah.
And this foreman was the other.
Yes, he was, that blame-haired ornery hide. But it turned out in the end all right. He never killed this fellow, though. Mary Jane talked him out of it.
Yeah. Well, sir, I'd just love to know how that all turned out.
And didn't you see the end of the picture, Lum?
Yeah, but it didn't show them getting married and living happy ever after or nothing.
Well, no, but it showed them walking arm in arm up to the Justice of the Peace's house. I just allowed that's what they's up to.
Yeah.
I hope so. That little Mary Jane is as fine a little woman as ever drawed breath.
Yeah, I had an idea they'd get married all the way through, though. I guessed that right at the start.
You did? Well...
You know, when he come up on the horse and she was leaning over picking them flowers.
He had that sunbonnet on her arm there. Yeah. Now, Dick, you sure want to see that picture now.
Well, it sounds good, all right, Abner, but there's not much use for me to see it now.
Well, there's a good lesson to it, though, Dick. Everybody ought to see it. I just wish all the young children in town could see it.
Well, say now that gives me an idea right there. You're trying to think of some way to beat Squire opening up his theater over there. Why, he's going to open up Friday night at 5 and 10 cents admission. Why don't you have a preview Friday afternoon, let the children in free?
Have a what?
A preview, an advance showing of the picture.
Well, the only trouble we've done advertised that we'd have our grand opening Saturday night, though.
Well, that won't interfere with your opening, Lum. You can go ahead and have your grand opening Saturday night and then have this preview Friday afternoon. Get to jump on Squire Skimp.
Granny, that's a good idea.
You mean have a picture show? Listen here about the Texas kid, have that Friday afternoon?
Yeah, put it on Friday afternoon and then put it on again Saturday night.
Oh, well, go. And doggies, I'd love to see that.
Well, now, we won't say nothing to nobody about it. Just keep it a secret, twixt the 3 of us.
Keep it a secret?
Yeah, if Squire Skimp finds out about that, he'll more likely try to have one himself. Put his on Thursday night so as to get ahead of us.
Well, here, though, Lum, you've got to let everybody know about it or you won't have anybody out to see it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if we're going to let the children in for nothing, why, me, it don't make no difference whether they find out about it or not.
Well, but here, you want a big crowd, though. There wouldn't be any point in having it if you didn't have a big crowd down there.
Yeah.
You want them all to see your theater and see what a nice place it is.
I wish there was some way of advertising it without Squire finding out about it.
I tell you what we could do, Lum.
What?
Let's advertise it for Saturday afternoon and then have it Friday. That'll fool him.
Yeah, that'd fool him and everybody else.
Yeah, yeah, just fool them all.
Well, who would we get to come out to the, what'd you call that thing again, Dick?
Preview?
Yeah, who'd come out to that?
I don't know. Who?
Well, nobody. That's what I say. That won't work.
Well, I don't care when we have it, just so it ain't Friday night. That's all I care.
What's the matter with Friday night?
Well, nothing, except I was sort of aiming on carrying Elizabeth and Pearl over to Squire's picture show Friday night.
Over to Squire's picture show.
Yeah, I've been reading them handbills that he passed around. Don't get it, if that show's half as good as he claims it to be, Lum, I don't want to miss it.
Well, for goodness sakes, Abner, that ain't gonna look right.
No, I don't think it will either, Abner. If I was you, I'd just stay away from over there.
Why, sure.
Well, why not?
Well, in the first place, it ain't gonna look right for me and you both to be over there on his opening night, and I promised Evelina I'd take her. She's seen one of them handbills.
Even Lum and Abner don't seem to be able to resist the lure of Squire Skimp's advertising. This is Carlton Brickert, speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks, who bid you all good night and good health.
Sometimes the old boys are their worst enemies. June 12th, 1935, Lum and Abner on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit Ted at radiomemories.com for shows on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer. And we thank Ted for supplying us these shows. radiomemories.com. Also, please visit our webpage, classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows, learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find our social media links and a list of podcast sites that have our shows available. And you can also buy me a copy. The Buy Me a Copy helps us acquire additional classic radio collections and helps us maintain our distribution channels. That's at classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. Thank this station, support their advertisers, and tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.